Just give me a second. Uh, just reply me in the chat whether you are able to listen to me. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. So we'll start from the place where we stopped last time, and I'll just share the PPT with you again. I'll share my screen. So we were discussing how will we go about this subject. So I told you that there are two ways. First, I will be teaching you something, and then you have to respond to that teaching methodology, the whatever I'm going to teach you. So initially I'll be taking whatever the first three modules, they are not having lots of problem. The first three modules are basically all about theory. It is also having problems, but our syllabus does not include it. Even if we go for GATE exams, problems are not included for this topic. Then the last three modules we can utilize PenTab effectively. Just let me annotate. Yeah. The last three modules can be explained very nicely on Pentab. So I'll try to use Pentab for problem based things. Then I'll also use videos whenever required for both measurement as well as control system. Next thing that I was expecting is I expect that you people will be more or less involved with me. So I will be asking you some quiz. I'll start quiz from next week's. Then I'll also ask you some polls about the topics. How do you find the topic? Then I will also suggest you some good group presentation. It might start by next week only. Okay. So we will start with this session. We are literally and we are formally going to start with the module. The name of the module, as you can see, the name of the module is, yeah, the name of the module is Introduction to Measurement. And in our syllabus, it has been allotted 8 hours. 8 hours is more than enough to complete this module. So what we will do today is we'll start with one of the topic of this module. As you can see, there are three parts in this module. One second. There are three parts in this module. I'll just introduce you. The first part is, yeah, one second. Yeah. The first part is related to introduction to measurement. So there are basically three things that you are going to do. First, you are going to classify the measuring instrument. There are two types of classification: primary measuring instrument and secondary measuring instrument. So you are going to classify the measuring instrument. After classifying the measuring instrument, you will learn about how do you generalize a measurement system. Matlab, what are the components in a basic measurement system. Okay, then the third part that you will identify is what are the types of input. You can sense this kind of thing in your day-to-day life also. There are some kind of desired input, there are some kind of interfering input, and there are some kind of modifying input. Desired are the inputs that we required from the instrument, but interfering inputs are not desirable. And what do interfering input do? They try to modify the input, the desired input. So suppose I wanted to see the reading. Suppose there is a pressure gauge and I want to see the reading, the pressure measurement. I want to see the value of pressure. Suppose I want to see the atmospheric pressure. So if it is atmospheric pressure, the pressure gauge should indicate 0 bar. 0 bar it should indicate. But what happens due to interference with other medium, the uh, the reading or the input might get modified. So that interference is called as interfering input. What is interfering with the pressure gauge? That is letting the pressure gauge modify the reading. Matlab, instead of getting desired input, we might be getting some kind of interfering input, which will eventually change the modifying input, which will eventually change the desired input to a new value, which is modifying input. Okay. Next, what is the next part in this? We can see the next part. The next part is related to static characteristics. Now, there are two types of characteristics actually of measuring instrument. We are actually studying about measuring instrument. There are two types of characteristics. One is static characteristic, second one is dynamic characteristics. Whatever is there in your syllabus, it is actually in relevance to static only. Matlab, you will learn what do you mean by calibration. Just let me change this pen. 1 second, huh? You will learn about what do you mean by calibration, what do you mean by linearity. These are all the characteristics, matlab the features of measuring instrument. What do you mean by sensitivity? Static sensitivity and sensitivity for us means one and the same. Then you will learn about accuracy. You have studied about accuracy, error, precision, I think even in physics and even in your earlier courses when you were doing your 12th standard. Then you will learn something more about which you have not heard: reproducibility, threshold, resolution. Hysteresis phenomena, you have, I think you have studied in physics, but it was related to something which was called as phenomena. Here hysteresis is related to characteristics of an instrument. Okay, please mute yourself. Then you will learn about drift. Then you will learn about what do you mean by span and range and instrument in an instrument. So basically what you are going to study in this part is you will learn all the static characteristics. I think if you have studied mechanics, anyone can let me know what do you mean by static. I'll just mute someone, unmute someone. I'd like to hear from Salman. Hello, Salman. Hello, Salman. Do you know what do you mean by statics? What is the
sir, it does not have motion.
Okay. And in relevance to instrument, what can you say about statics? You are going to take instrument, so it is not like instrument will have motion. So what do you mean by statics in relevance to measurement or measuring instrument? Just think about it. In relevance to measuring instrument, what do you mean by the term static?
Sir, like measuring scale.
Okay.
Means in which there is not any indicator type, pointer.
So that is not static. That is pressure gauge is also a static instrument. Do you know? Static means something which is at rest. Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Something which is at rest does not have any time variation. I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is some characteristics which are not varying. They are constant over a long period of time. Suppose I am going to use pressure gauge today and I am going to use pressure tomorrow, but if I get the same reading again and again, those kind of characteristics are called as static characteristics. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so static is something which is constant with respect to time. So what you'll study here is calibration will be constant with respect to time, linearity, sensitivity of an instrument, accuracy, error, precision, reproducibility, threshold, okay, resolution, hysteresis, drift, span. In exam, a 10 marks question come for this, 10 marks question. State the static characteristics or explain the various static characteristics of a measuring instrument. So when it comes for 10 marks, what you have to write is you have to write all the static characteristics and you have to explain that static characteristics. Okay. So what we'll do is we will go to the next part of this portion. First was introduction. We will introduce what do you mean by measurement, what do you mean by generalized measurement, what do you mean by types of input. Matlab, we are going to classify based on the input, based on the measuring system, and we are also going to classify the instruments. There are three things. First, we will classify the instruments, then we will classify the inputs that are given to the instruments, and then in general, we will also discuss about what do you mean by generalized measurement system. How do you measure? Matlab, what are the components of measurement? Okay, all these things are different. Okay, the third part of this module, it is very simple. You have studied in physics, I think, various types of error in measurement. You have studied in general what do you mean by error, but here you will study in relevance to measurement. What I think there was a topic in 11th standard, of physics, which was, I think, measurement. So I think you have studied about measurement, errors in measurement. So first part is what are the types of error. This will effectively cover component error also, and they will also cover, that will also cover probable error. So what you have studied, what you have to study in general is types of error. This is also a 10 marks question. It comes in exam for 10 marks. Okay. So one of the question that comes in exam is state the static characteristics and define them properly. The second question that comes for 10 marks, it might vary from 5 to 10 marks, both the topics, but generally it comes for 10 marks. Sometimes it also comes for 5 marks. So the next topic that comes for 10 marks in exam or 5 marks is errors in measurement. And in that you are basically asked what are the types of error, explain with an example. The third question that comes in the exam, what I have seen, I taught that subject 5 years ago, but I'm very sure what are the questions that might be asked in the exam. Explain generalized measurement system. Okay, you have to explain with a block diagram what do you mean by generalized measurement system. After that, there is something which is in addition. Suppose you will be given a pressure gauge, you will be told that there is a pressure gauge, and explain all the components that are there in pressure gauge to facilitate the measurement system of a pressure. Okay, to facilitate the measurement of pressure, what are the components with respect to generalized measurement system? What you have to do is you have to classify the system, that you have to classify that pressure gauge with respect to various components that are there in pressure gauge that facilitate measuring. Okay, that one more question that is asked, not so much, but it is also asked, is types of input. It also comes for 10 marks. What are the various types of input? How do you define them? How do you classify them? And give an example of desired interference and modifying input. Okay, so I think we are done with it. What we can do is we can proceed forward. I have taken lot of time. I think I have already taken 13 minutes, so sorry, but it was essential. So I'll be asking you, it's important to ask, just give me 1 minute. I'll be asking someone from your class. I will be asking QWERTY कौन है QWERTY? I would like to hear from QWERTY. Hello, assalamu alaikum QWERTY. Have I unmuted you? Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir.
What's the name?
Anas.
Anas. Okay. What are the 3 parts of this module? Can you state the parts?
सर मैंने अभी 2 मिनट पहले ज्वाइन किया है अभी.
Okay. Okay. Not an issue. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay.
Okay. Tabish. Hello, Tabish. Tabish.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam. Can you tell me what are the different parts of this module? What are the 3 sections?
So the mainly, so first of all, it was it's a used to talk about the introduction.
Okay. Second part.
Then about the characteristics, that it's a static and dynamic, but we in our
What are you going to
subject.
study?
Yes, sir.
What kind of characteristics will you be studying in this module?
So we will be studying static one, not the dynamic one.
What do you mean by dynamic characteristics?
So dynamics it means in motion, the characteristics which are in motion, which are not rest.
Tell me, in
Sir.
measurement, what do you mean by dynamic characteristics in relevance to measurement?
In relevance to measurements, kind of speed,
Okay.
then
Okay, very nice.
so
Something
acceleration.
varying with time. Yeah, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not constant with time. Those characteristics are called as dynamic characteristics.
Right.
Okay, very
Yes,
nice.
sir.
The third part?
And then about the measurements and errors in measurements.
Okay, very nice. Thank you.
This is a
So we will proceed with this thing. We'll go to the next slide. I don't know why am I not able to proceed. Yeah, characteristics of measurement. Okay, so can you see this instrument? Do you know which instrument is this? I think you have already seen the details since the slide went further, but you can see that this instrument, what do we call this instrument as? We call it as pressure gauge. Okay, you can see the unit of pressure gauge. It is PSI, pound square inch, or kg per centimeter square. So it measures the pressure. Okay. Okay, then I'll just like you to know what are the characteristics and how do you classify them. Okay. why is the pressure measurement, and you can see that it is static measurement. Why do we call it a static measurement? Because reading do not fluctuate or it do not vary with time. Suppose I have fixed the pressure measuring instrument. Suppose I have fixed it on, you can say I have fixed it on a flow, on a in a pipe. Okay, so I'll be able to see the pressure, but this pressure does not vary with time. Whatever pressure is there, that is not having that much effect of time on it. You can see the next type. This is a compressor. You can see a compressor, and the person here is holding some tab, and this compressor, you know that compressor vibrates a lot. And what do they want to check with this instrument? This is a vibration measuring instrument. So you know that as compared to pipe, you know that this compressor fluctuates a lot. This has lots of vibration. So when it comes to this, you can surely state that this will be measuring vibration, and since vibrations are fluctuating with respect to time, they are not constant for a given time interval. They fluctuate within the given time interval. Okay, so this kind of measurement we call it as dynamic measurement. So if you want to define dynamic measurement, you can define it as reading fluctuates or varies with time, then it is called as dynamic measurement. And if reading does not fluctuate, if reading does not fluctuate or vary with time, then it is called as static measurement. In static measurement also we get fluctuation, but these fluctuation are negligible as compared to the compressor, a dynamic measuring instrument. Okay, so here there is a lot of you can say fluctuation with respect to time, but here the fluctuation with respect to time is very minimum, so we can neglect. What we can neglect? We can neglect the variation with respect to time. So such instruments are called as static instruments, and those who measure, for example, vibration, those instruments are called as dynamic instruments. Okay, so we'll proceed further. Okay, so I have already stated there are two types of characteristics, static and dynamic characteristics. We can say static characteristics. Static characteristics are what? Those characteristics that does not vary with time. Secondly, we will only deal with static characteristics of measurement. Matlab, in control system we might get dynamic characteristics. Actually we get a lot of dynamic characteristics in control system. Okay, but in this basic measurement like acceleration, velocity, we don't get dynamic measurement. Okay, with respect to instrument I am saying. So those instruments which are measuring only static characteristics will be called as static instruments. Okay, second thing that we can see here is, we can go to this slide. Yeah, dynamic measurement. You can see what I have written for dynamic measurement is reading of an instrument rapidly changes with time. If there is something which is changing with time, some reading of an instrument, that is called as dynamic characteristics of an instrument. And what does it uses? You know about differential. I think you have heard about differentiation. Differentiation is nothing but something which is changing with respect to time. Suppose dv by dt, we know that dv by dt is called as acceleration. So if we are using some kind of a differential approach, then that characteristic is called as dynamic characteristics. So we can be very sure that dynamic characteristics uses differential approach. And one of the common example for dynamic characteristics that I've already shown you the pic is vibration measurement. Okay, one more thing that I would like to clarify, that dynamic measurements are also a part of control system. When we go to control system, we see variation with respect to time, and we also use differential approach. So if you want to know how does a control system work, how does an open system or a closed system work, we should be very sure that open system and closed system uses mathematical differential approach to solve or to measure the characteristics of measurement. Okay, or to measure the readings of instruments. Okay, I hope everyone is clear what I'm saying about static and dynamic characteristics. I like to see the chat from you people. Are you getting? Just chat me. What we have studied till now is, we have studied about 3 sections of module. Then we have studied about what do you mean by characteristics. Then the third thing that we have studied is about what are the different types of characteristics. What are static characteristics? What are dynamic characteristics? We use static characteristics in basic measurement system. We use dynamic characteristics in ये this control system type of measurement. Someone wants to ask something. I think कौन है वो? तबीश. Who was that person? किसको कुछ पूछना था? I think हाथ उठाया तो भूल से उठा क्या हाथ? तबीश. हाँ तबीश बोलो ना, हाथ उठाए हो तुम. One second. I don't know why am I not able to unmute you. चैट के
So-
क्लिक हुआ. ओके 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 ओके. तो नीचे करो ना हाथ.
एंड अरे सर वो लोअर हैंड कर रहा हूँ सर, वो हो नहीं रहा है.
ओके ओके
हुआ
हो
सर?
गया हो गया हो गया. चलो चलो ठीक है ठीक है.
अच्छा अच्छा.
You are making everyone enjoy the party. Nice. One second. I'll proceed with this. One second. Okay. Yeah. Static calibration. This is very important. I am starting with the first characteristics. This characteristics is actually not mentioned in your syllabus, but this is a very important characteristics that is called as calibration. I am talking about only static calibration, but you can generally classify it as calibration. So what do you mean by calibration? You'll get it to know in detail. हाँ, calibration is the process of, you can see, मतलब एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट को पता है हम सेट करते हैं. मतलब सपोज करो तुम्हें एक स्केल है, तो वो स्केल को तुमको सेट करना पड़ता है. डिविजन्स में तुम डिवाइड करते हो या नहीं, उसके बाद उस पर मार्किंग करते हो या नहीं. मतलब सबसे पहले तुम्हें ये पता रहना चाहिए 15 सेंटीमीटर क्या होता. ओके, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज सेटिंग अप. ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज सेटिंग अप. उसके बाद तुम 15 सेंटीमीटर को सपोज करो एक सेंटीमीटर में डिवाइड करते हो, तो तुम उसको इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करते हो, तो उस चीज को हम बोलते हैं मार्किंग. उसके बाद क्या करते हैं, सपोज करो मैंने सेट कर दिया, मार्क कर दिया. यही दो चीज होती है. सेट करने के लिए इनिशियली क्या करते हैं, हम कोई स्टैंडर्ड यूज करते हैं. ठीक है, ये नेक्स्ट चेकिंग में क्या होता है वो बताता हूँ, बट इनिशियली मैं तुमको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि एक्चुअल में ये है क्या. ठीक है, तो तुम क्या कर रहे हो, एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट को सेट कर रहे हो और एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट को क्या कर रहे हो, सेट करने के बाद मार्क कर रहे हो. अब जब तुम कोई एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट को सेट करते हो ना, तो तुम दो तरीके के स्टैंडर्ड के अगेंस्ट उसको सेट करते हो. एक स्टैंडर्ड होता है प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड, दूसरा स्टैंडर्ड होता है सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड. ठीक है, मतलब एक प्राइमरी मीन्स हो सकता है, एक सेकेंडरी मीन्स हो सकता है, कोई भी चीज को सेट और मार्क करने के लिए. अब जैसे कि तुम देख सकते हो नीचे मैंने लिखा है, आई हैव ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड में क्या क्या हो सकता है. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट लेंथ? ओके, you have heard about mass, you have heard about time, you have heard about temperature, viscosity. Suppose करो आपको एक स्केल बनानी है, तो you already know in centimeter, okay, or meter, what do you mean by length, what do you mean by 1 centimeter, what is the value of that 1 centimeter, that has been already prescribed. How do you get to know what do you mean by meter? This science is called as metrology. This is not there in your syllabus. This will come in 6th sem, metrology and quality engineering, where you set up the standard. Here what you are doing is set up the primary standard. If you are setting up the primary standard, those kind of systems are called as metrology. Okay, this is also a science of measurement. This is a procedure of measurement. What you are studying in measurement, मतलब जब आप एक्सेलरेशन पढ़ोगे, वेलोसिटी पढ़ोगे, प्रेशर पढ़ोगे, तो आप इंस्ट्रूमेंट कैसे बना, इंस्ट्रूमेंट के पीछे कहाँ से कहानी आई, इंस्ट्रूमेंट को कैसे पता चला केजी पर सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर पास्कल होता, ये सब चीज आपको बेसिकली पता चलेगा जब आप मेजरमेंट पढ़ोगे. बट आप इसमें क्या करते हो, आप एक सिर्फ इंस्ट्रूमेंट को एक स्टैंडर्ड के अगेंस्ट क्या करते हो, बनाते हो. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले आप क्या करते हो, एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट को सेट करते हो. एक बार सेट हो गया तो आप उसको इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करके जैसे भी आपको करना है आप उसको मार्क करते हो. तो उसके दो मीन्स है. एक मीन्स क्या बताया मैंने, एक मीन्स है प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड. प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड में जो हमारे स्टैंडर्ड्स रहेंगे वो रहेगा लेंथ, मास, टाइम, टेम्परेचर, विस्कोसिटी. ओके, विस्कोसिटी ऑफ फ्लूइड. ठीक है, इसके थ्रू आप क्या कर सकते हैं, आप इंस्ट्रूमेंट को क्या कर सकते हैं, सेट कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, विस्कोसिटी से रिलेटेड, हाउ डू यू मेजर विस्कोसिटी, उससे रिलेटेड हमने फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स में एक एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था. आई थिंक हाउ डू यू मेजर विस्कोसिटी. ठीक है, एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट के थ्रू हम देख सकते थे हाउ डू यू मेजर विस्कोसिटी. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक पे हम जाते हैं, नेक्स्ट चीज पर हम जाते हैं. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट थिंग, सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड क्या होता है. जस्ट गिव मी 2 seconds. हाँ, सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड्स क्या होते हैं, यू कैन सी हियर. सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड मीन्स समथिंग विच इज ऑलरेडी कैलिब्रेटेड. मतलब सपोज करो आपको एक स्केल बनानी है, आपने दूसरी स्केल उठाए, दोनों स्केल सपोज करो एक आपने प्लास्टिक की स्केल की, दूसरी प्लास्टिक उठाई, आपने क्या किया, दोनों को कंपेयर किया और आपने क्या कर दिया, इंस्ट्रूमेंट बना दिया। तो अगर आप एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो पहले से कैलिब्रेटेड है, अब जाहिर सी बात है वो जो दूसरी स्केल है वो कैलिब्रेटेड है, घर पे तो बनी नहीं आपके, कहीं ना कहीं मार्केट में बनी होगी, आपने वो स्केल को उठाया, आपने अपनी स्केल को उसके हिसाब से एडजस्ट किया, तो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड बोलते हैं। ओके ओके। नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट आई वुड लाइक टू से यू इज, ये मैंने बताया नहीं चेकिंग क्या होता है। चेकिंग क्या होता है, विद टाइम आपको पता है इंस्ट्रूमेंट जो रहता है, सपोज करो आपने प्रेशर गेज देखा होगा या आपने कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट देखा होगा, रीडिंग जीरो पे रहनी चाहिए। आपने खासकर एमीटर्स में देखा होगा, जब आपने प्रैक्टिकल्स किए होंगे BEE के या इंडस्ट्रियल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के, कि एमीटर का रीडिंग जीरो पे नहीं रहता, थोड़ा सा क्या रहता है, जीरो से डेविएट रहता है। तो जब ऐसा डेविएशन रहता है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ता है, वापस को उसको स्टैंडर्ड से कंपेयर करना पड़ता है। या तो आप प्राइमरी स्टैंडर्ड से कंपेयर करोगे या तो आप सेकेंडरी स्टैंडर्ड से कंपेयर करोगे। इस प्रोसेस को भी हम कैलिब्रेशन बोलते हैं। मतलब बेसिकली कैलिब्रेशन इज व्हाट, कैलिब्रेशन इज सेटिंग, marking and checking of a instrument that you are going to design with some primary instrument or primary standard or secondary standard. Okay, I hope you're getting. To help you clarify more about this, what I'll do is I'll just let you see a video. If someone is not able to view the video properly, that might be due to your bandwidth. I am having a Wi-Fi of 50 Mbps. You don't have to worry about my bandwidth. I'll share the video link with you where you can see that video also if you're not comfortable. Just let me show you this video. This is very nice, and this video is related to, you can see here, this is related to what I've already mentioned. This is related to thermometer calibration. Okay, I think you all have seen thermometer. I think you might have measured your fever also during this pandemic time. Okay, so you all know about thermometer and how do you set up or how do you calibrate. Okay, how do you set up, how do you mark. I am not stating what do you check in this thermometer. I'll explain you how do you set up and how do you mark or how do you make a basic thermometer. Okay, okay, I'll just share this video with you. Just look at this.
Calibration of a thermometer. The calibration of a thermometer involves the marking of two fixed points on the stem of the thermometer and dividing the interval between them into a number of equal parts. The two fixed points are called lower fixed point and upper fixed point. The melting point of pure ice at 1 atmospheric pressure is called the lower fixed point or ice point, and the boiling point of pure water at 1 atmospheric pressure is called the upper fixed point or the steam point. Let us see how the lower fixed point is marked on a thermometer. The thermometer, which is to be calibrated, is placed in a funnel surrounded by crushed ice. The bulb of the thermometer is completely immersed in ice. A beaker is kept below the funnel to collect the dripping water. Observe that the level of mercury is dropping. This is because the mercury starts contracting. After some time, the mercury stops contracting and the mercury meniscus remains stationary. This indicates that the ice is melting. The position of the meniscus is marked on the stem of the thermometer with the help of a file, and that point is marked as 0 degrees Celsius. This position gives the lower fixed point or ice point.
Okay, I'll proceed. I think he has stopped for a second.
Stem.
He's taken a lot of pause. I'll just start from here. I hope you're able to understand what he has
Now,
stated. You can understand bulb means there is a small protruding part at the end of the thermometer that should be completely immersed in this ice. Okay.
Let us see how the upper fixed point is marked on the stem. The apparatus used to mark the upper fixed point is known as the hypsometer. Hypsometer is a double-walled copper vessel having two side tubes, one for the steam to escape and the other.
One second. I think I don't have to annotate. I was trying to annotate it. So sorry.
For a manometer.
I'll just play it again so that you understand it. Sorry.
Hypsometer is a double-walled copper vessel having two side tubes, one for the steam to escape and the other for a manometer. The manometer indicates the difference in the pressure inside the chamber and the atmosphere. The thermometer to be calibrated is inserted inside the hypsometer through the cork at the top, such that the bulb of the thermometer remains above the surface of the water in it. The water is boiled and the steam produced passes up through the inner chambers and descends down through the outer section as indicated by the arrows. The bulb is surrounded with pure steam at atmospheric pressure. When the mercury meniscus in the thermometer remains stationary for a sufficiently long time, a sharp cut is made at that point with the help of a file, and that point is marked as 100 degrees Celsius. This is the upper fixed point or the steam point. Care is taken to see that the pressure of steam inside the hypsometer is the same as the normal atmospheric pressure.
Is everyone able to understand? Just give me a message in chat, please. Please chat me. Okay, I'll start with it. Okay, just 2
After
minutes.
marking the two fixed or standard points, the thermometer is dipped in molten wax
It is
and
dipped in
then
molten
taken
wax.
out.
Molten wax.
A thin layer of wax gets deposited on it. With the help of a sharp needle, the wax deposited on the fixed points is removed. The space between the fixed points is divided into 100 equal divisions. The wax from these points is removed. The thermometer is dipped in hydrofluoric acid for a few minutes. The acid reacts with the exposed glass surface. However, the part of the thermometer which is wax-coated remains unaffected. The thermometer is removed from the acid and then washed with water. The wax is now scrubbed off. The etchings are then filled with paint for clarity. This calibrated thermometer is ready for use.
Okay, thank you. I think you understood what I was trying to generally tell you. Okay, and this is one of the interesting thing for you, because you know right now there is a pandemic and people are worried about whether they are having fever or not. Trust me, even my family has bought 2 to 3 thermometers. My brother has bought a thermometer. I have got a thermometer. Why do we need thermometer? To check whether my child is perfectly fine or not. We keep on constantly checking. So if you want to make a project, or if you want to make a mini project, this is one of the good topic. You, in this subject, especially in measurement, what you can do is, you can, if you know how do you set up, or how do you, if you know what are the primary standards, basically, if you know what are the primary standards, you can easily do, or you can easily make your own measurement device. It is very simple. Okay, but you should know how to use that primary standard. If you can use that primary standard effectively, you can use, you can make your own measuring device. One of the company in my area, Scientific Devices, when I was a kid, I think when I was 10 to 12 years old, I think that guy completed his bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and right now he is having his own company, Scientific Devices, in Mumbai. It is one of the big company in Mumbai. Matlab, in my area, it is one of the big companies having crores of turnover, and what is manufacturing is rotameter. Basic functioning, what is actually manufacturing, what I have got to know when I was trying to go there for internship or something, I knew that they are measuring, they are making rotameter, and rotameter is used to measure the flow. So if you know how to measure viscosity, or how to use viscosity, then you can literally measure. Or if you know what is Q, and how do you measure meter cube per second flow, okay, flow rate, if you can measure this, and if you can use this to set up your instrument, then you can even manufacture rotameter. So this is one of the possibility of measurement, that you can start your own business if you are good enough. Okay, So we will proceed with this slide. We'll proceed with this slide. Why is it not happening? Just give me a second. We are about to complete today's topic. I think I would like to see the time also. There is 8 minutes right now, so we don't have to worry about it. Why am I not able to move? Yeah, you can see. The next characteristics, first was calibration. The next characteristics, it is very simple. You might have heard about it. You all know what do you mean by range and what do you mean by span. But to know technically, we always fail to define it technically. So what we will do here is, we will try to define it technically. Just look at this figure that I am going to show you. Yeah, can you look at this figure? It is a thermometer. As you can see, it is also a thermometer which is having a lower scale reading. Let me annotate. Which is having a lower scale reading of 20. There is also a 0 here, and the upper scale reading is 60. Okay, so what you can see is it starts from minus 20 and it goes up to 60. So if someone tells you to calculate the span is nothing but maximum minus minimum. Okay, so maximum is 60, minimum is also minus 20, so minus of minus 20, so you will get the range value. So range is nothing but it is the difference between the maximum and minimum value for which the instrument is designed to measure the value, to measure it. Okay, and next thing, if you want to find the range, you know the range means what is the lower limit, minus 20, what is the upper limit, 60. So the range of the instrument is from minus 20 to minus 60. Okay, I hope it is clear for all of you. We can proceed with this. You can just see this definition. Range is the maximum and minimum value that instrument is designed to measure. Span is the difference between maximum and minimum that the instrument is designed to measure. Okay, so span is having a value, concrete value. Range will have a range. It will have two values, from se leke to tak. Okay, we'll proceed. I just need to clear this annotation. Okay, one second. Error. When will it come? Can you see this image? I would like to ask you some question regarding this image. I would like to unmute all, but when I unmute all, what happens is people don't follow the procedure. I like to ask Arsalan. फखरुद्दीन आया है क्या? ओके ओके, पहले अरसलान से पूछते हैं. अरसलान, क्या दिख रहा है इसमें? अरसलान, I have unmuted you. Yeah, Arsalan. Hello. Arsalan. यार, have good connectivity बेटा. I can't help. रहने दो तुम. Hello, who is this? या अल्लाह, क्या बोलूं मैं यार. इमेज के बारे में पूछना था कुछ मुझे. अली, I'll unmute all. I'll do one thing. I'll unmute all. I don't have much time, so I'll unmute all of you. Just give me 1 second. You can unmute yourself. Anyone who wants to say one, right? Anyone? हाँ बोलो सलमान.
सर अली बोल रहा हूँ.
हाँ बोलो अली, क्या दिख रहा है ये पिक में?
सर वैल्यू सर माइनस में जा रही है सर.
सेव नहीं दिख रहा तुम्हें?
हाँ सेव दिख रहा ना सर.
बोलो क्या यार.
तो जो एक्चुअली जो वेट है सर वो माइनस में.
हाँ, हो सकता है क्या ऐसा?
नहीं सर,
there is an error.
हाँ, तो there is an error. You are very sure, माशाल्लाह. If we show it to a who has not पढ़ा तो वो शायद नॉलेज नहीं, वो मान ले कि माइनस हो सकता, बट तुम नहीं मानोगे क्योंकि you basically know what you mean by error. So what we will see here is difference between measured value and true value. Okay, what we are seeing here is not an error. This is an indication that we know that there is an error. Suppose I want to get the value as 20 and I'm getting minus 20. Suppose I believe that this, please mute yourself. Allah, this is the problem. Mute yourself. What I am saying, suppose you know that this apple is of 20 gram, okay, assume, and you are getting minus 20 gram. So the difference between the measured value and true value, what do we call it as? Error. Error is also called as absolute error, okay, because this is measured in terms of absolute value, whatever absolute you wanted and whatever absolute you are seeing, okay. So that's why we also call it as absolute error. And what do you mean by relative static error? We will see it in the next point. Relative static error is nothing but absolute error, matlab whatever is the measured value minus true value upon true value. You might have found the percentage also. So if you want to find percentage error, so what do we call percentage error is relative error, or you can even call it as relative static error because we are studying static right now. So if you want to find percentage error, what you'll do, measured value minus true value upon true value into what you'll do is 100, okay. Is this formula same for all the readings or will it change? For higher value as well as for lower value, will this formula remain same or will it change? Matlab absolute formula for finding percentage. Can you tell me, anyone? Hello, anyone? I am asking whether this formula will remain same every, this formula RSE, or will it change?
No, sir, it will not change.
Nice. Who is this person?
Sir, Salman.
Okay, Salman. Nice. Okay. So we will proceed with this. We have studied, what we have studied till now is, we have studied range and span, we have studied error, we have studied static calibration. We will proceed. Yeah. I just have to clear my annotations. Give me a second. Okay. I'll just show you some photos for accuracy. Just look at these photos. I hope you're getting. First one is highly accurate. Second one is not accurate. You can't say low accuracy. It is not accurate. I hope you're getting why it is not accurate, because you needed to hit the center of that bow. Okay. The third one is also not accurate. We'll proceed with this and we will see the next precision. We have seen accuracy. Now we will see precision. What you can see here is, you can directly see here. What are you able to see? The first photo. Can anyone let me know? First photo. Is it accurate or precise? First photo.
Sir, both.
Very nice. But I have written with respect to precision only, but you already know that this is accurate also. Second photo. Is it accurate?
No,
No, sir,
not accurate.
but precise.
Precise.
Precise, because it is hitting at the same point. Wherever might be
Yes.
the third one, it is not precise, and I think it is also not
Not even accurate.
even accurate. Very nice. Okay. Now the third thing that I will expect from you, just let me know, accuracy versus precision. You can see first low accuracy, low precision, right? The same photo I have repeated with different, matlab, with some names also. You can see here there is low accuracy and there is low precision also. Here the precision is very high because it is hitting at the same point, but the accuracy is very low. Okay. The third photo that you can see at the bottom left corner is, it is accurate, but it is not precise. Okay. The fourth photo that you can see is, it is highly accurate and highly precise. Okay. So we will move forward with this. We are about to end the lecture. You don't have to worry much. We have studied accuracy, precision. Next is your work that I was waiting for so long to let you know. I am expecting some homework session from you. I would like you to write in your book at least 5 different distinct points for accuracy as well as precision. Okay. Second, I also want you to state examples of accurate and precise measurement in your instruments. Where do you get accurate as well as precise measurement? It can be low accurate, it can be high accurate. I just need some examples of measuring instruments with some values. I just need that example. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Next, I'll just like to end this lecture with the reference book. First reference book is one of the best books. When I started my career in teaching, I was given this course only. The first course that I took in my life was measurement only. And I feel that the course was very boring. I wanted to take mechanics and SOM. I always vouch for that course only, but I got this course to teach. And trust me, I did my best to teach this course. And the best book that I got in my hand was A.K. Sawhney. It is one of the best book. I am trying to find its PDF, but I am not able to find its PDF. One more thing I would like to clear is there are two big books of AK Sauni. One is electrical measurement and one is mechanical measurement. I am telling you to find mechanical measurement and control. A course on mechanical measurement and control, not electrical measurement. Electrical measurement will have ammeter, voltmeter. Mechanical measurement will have both the things, mechanical as well as metrology thing. But what you have in your syllabus is mechanical thing, so you will be able to find pressure, velocity, acceleration, displacement measurement. All you will be able to find is in this book only, Mechanical Measurement and Control by AK Sauni. So I hope that you will be able to find this book. I am not able to find, and if possible, get this book next time when you come for the lecture. Second thing, one of the good books for control system. This is also the subject that I used to take earlier. Control system used to come in a subject which was called as mechatronics. Now control system is shifted to measurement. Okay, so one of the best book that I used for control system, even during my BE time, I used this book, was Bakshi, Bakshi and UA Bakshi. Okay, so try to find this book also. If you can get its PDF, it will be worth enough to share with everyone. Okay. Next, last thing that I would like to say is more like responsible thing from your side. Suggest me next time if you find any other good ebooks, just go through the syllabus and try to find some ebooks that you can find. And if you are able to find the PDF, share that link with every one of us. Next time, share it in the chat box so that all of us can download also. Okay. I hope that you all will be doing this part from your side. One part that I'm expecting from your side is accuracy and precision. I need 5 points and some examples, and books. You need to find these books. If you can find this book, that will be very beneficial for every one of us. Okay. Now I would like that if you have any question to ask, except Harshal, I don't want Harshal to ask any question because I have not yet searched for that your question. I was not able to get that much time and I forgot. I will search for that question and I'll let you know. Okay, Harshal?
No, sir. Yes, sir. I find out this answer
So
actually,
let me
sir.
know. Share the answer with everyone.
हाँ सर, एक्चुअली अगर ओपन लूप में अगर देखा जाए तो हम लोग नॉर्मली स्विच ऑफ, आई मीन लाइक जो लाइट का बटन होता है स्विच ऑफ एंड स्विच ऑन करते हैं,
फैन हो गया, ट्यूबलाइट हो
तो वो
गया.
या एग्जैक्टली.
Can we make it
एंड
closed
अगर
loop?
क्लोज लूप
Can we make it closed loop?
पे या श्योर, क्लोज लूप में अगर देखा जाएगा तो एक वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एग्जांपल हम देख सकते हैं सैटेलाइट.
अच्छा. Harshal, I'm asking you how to make
Yeah,
this
sir.
light fan closed loop rather than open loop. What technology can we use?
Open loop, sir.
From open loop, if we want to make it closed loop, I want that when I leave my room, the light and fan should get automatically switched off. Which technology should I use?
सर
आपका
Sir,
साउंड
sir.
क्लियर नहीं आ रहा.
बोलो कौन है बोलो.
कुणाल आई एम कुणाल सर.
Yeah.
सर IoT यूज कर सकते हैं.
Very nice. Internet of Things. Industry Internet of Things नया नाम है इसका, but you can use IoT to manage everything. Okay. Okay. If you can fix the
Yes,
time,
sir. Yes, sir.
it will automatically do. You can even use sensors and everything to automate the things for you. Okay. Anyone else who want to? Can you?
सर आर्डिनो भी यूज कर सकते हैं ना सर क्लोज लूप के लिए.
Arduino भी तो IoT का ही पार्ट हुआ ना बेटा. सब कुछ IoT का ही पार्ट हुआ. जहां पे तुम मैकाट्रॉनिक सिस्टम यूज कर रहे ना बेटा, जहां पे भी मैकाट्रॉनिक्स यूज कर रहे वो इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स ही हो गई तुम्हारी. ओके ओके
ओके सर ओके.
एनीवन एल्स? I need to show the slide of homework. Okay, I'll just show it to you. Slide of homework. One homework is finding the books, and it is very important. I am finding it very tough to find the book. So if you all can find it for yourself and for me, that will be very beneficial. You can take this homework session. Very simple homework. I need everyone to do this thing. We will meet on Tuesday, I think. So I want if there is a practical session, I don't think I'm going to take your practical. So I want all of you to complete this thing, and trust me, this pandemic will end soon. You will be able to come to the college, and I think once you come to the college, you will be sitting in the lecture because of you getting bored at home. I will also be very much excited to take the lecture right now because of the conditions that we are facing right now. So be positive, be happy, and don't think much about the issues that are surrounding you. Okay. We can.
Inshallah, sir.
Okay, chalo. Assalamu alaikum. We are ending the lecture.
Yes, sir. Walaikum salam.
One more thing. I'll be sharing a link with you. You just have to fill that link. Okay? In 5 minutes time. I'm giving you 5 minutes time. Chaliye. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.